Hey guys, I've got a Skylar doll and I have quite a few Skylar dolls, so I got this one secondhand and I'm quite excited because she is quite cute. Yeah, and I don't know, I've always seen those in the toy store like this, and her, the shade of her skin is just slightly different from the other. I'm not so sure what is it, but it just looks a little bit. Hey guys, I'm really happy that I got this Skylar doll secondhand, and yeah, of course I took her head out of her body, but just because I'm really curious today to see what is she is going to look like. I've customed another Skylar before, given her a middle part with bangs, and I'm very curious to see what she will look like if this part of her hair, where it's dark blue, if it was like light blue, and if this part of her hair that was light blue is dark blue, then it's more like a dark to light effect. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do this out of curiosity, and also because I've got a few Skylar dolls already, and I think I just want to see how she can look a little bit more different. I'm going to remove all the hair around her head and the hair on the part line and root them back in. Probably I will shift her part line somewhere to off center. So I hope you enjoy this video. As always, I will place my doll on the green towel, which is really soft and nice because sometimes when you turn her everywhere, I could scratch her face, scratch her eyes, and I have definitely scratched a few doll eyes before or scratched a few faces before, but yeah, and I will show you the process of rerouting using a tagging gun. Yes, so more details in other videos. Yeah. So this is Skylar without her dark blue hair. I've cut this all the way, and after that I'm gonna use a sharp needle, but a thick one, and I'm going to push all this stubble back into the head instead of pulling it out, just to make sure that all the stubble go back in. So I just kind of like push it back into the head. It will be better if you can actually cut it shorter. Yeah, I think I left it a little bit long, so I'm gonna cut it all the way, and then it will be very easy to just push back into her head. As anyway, I need this to widen the hole each time I reroute. And oh, look, she's got a earring stuck in her ear. Now I am going to show you what I do with the hair that I have cut out. Here it is. I tried to be as neat as possible. I should have ironed it straight. It would be much easier. And then I'm gonna take some fabric glue and then I'm going to glue the ends of it. This is just normal fabric glue, and it's a white glue. So yeah, I'm going to just take out some and put it on my finger. So that's why I need a piece of scrap paper. Yeah. It's like I just have a Skylar doll. I could have just kept her as she is. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm giving myself a little bit more work, but oh no, I've always wanted to see how she would look like with her hair reversed. So I'm going to take the glue and just massage it into the ends of the hair like you. Am I doing this off camera? Oh gosh. I'm gonna take the glue and massage it into the ends of the hair like this. Yeah, and then I just press out any excess so it will dry in about 10 to 15 minutes. If you don't squeeze out the excess, it will take forever to dry. This white glue seems to take a little longer than the clear glue, even though this one says it dries clear, but it doesn't. Sometimes when I wash it, it doesn't. So this is a much neater roll. Yes. Okay, and then again I take more glue. Just rub some glue into the ends of the hair down here, yeah, and it will hold it together. Okay, come out. Oh. Rub it like this. So this dark blue is for making the part line actually. And then I just, massage it in. Make sure it reaches all the hair in between, not just sit on top. And I will do it to the rest of the hair here. So now that this is done, I will push it aside and let the glue just dry for a bit. And right now I'm going to remove her existing part line. Just the same way, just using a scissors to cut it all out. And she looks nice in light blue hair already, so I'm kind of loving the result, and we'll see how it looks like in a bit. So now that I've removed her part line and her hairline, this is what's left of her. It's like, doing a reroot, but most of the job has been done for me already, so I think it's it's gonna be fun. And yeah, and once again I am going to put some glue on the ends of the light blue hair. Yep.
These blew me away. I love their
So this is where I'm gonna prepare the hair for rerooting. Now that I have put some glue on this blue hair, I'm gonna wait for it to dry. But right now I need to turn this into smaller strands of hair to root a part line. So usually for a part line, what I would do is I will take small strands, but not as small. So I cut it so it's very neat down here. I'm gonna lose a teeny bit of length, and then I just remove the hair like this, and I take a much thicker strand than I normally would. This is for the part line, and I'm just gonna do this with all the hair. And for this light blue one, because it's going around her face, I'm gonna take a much smaller strand, about the amount of one plug. Yes, so this is gonna be hopefully the amount of 3 plugs in one. Yep. And yeah. So now that this light blue hair has had some time to dry, I can start to separate it. It's still a little bit wet down here, but most of it is already dry. And these are the thicker strands of hair, for her part line. So for these, they are like about 3 plugs of hair, and for this one, I am just going to have to make it the amount of one tiny plug because it's going into her hairline. Again, I actually always cut this like that just so it's a little bit neater. And also, if you have that little, glue like thingy, this thing, if this is a little bit too long, it takes a lot more effort to get in. I don't know why. Not so sure why. So I'm gonna start separating this, and then I can start rooting Skylar. So I'm gonna take a break from separating these. I'll separate it later when it's a little bit more dry. But what you can see is the dark blue strands. These that are gonna be for her part line are much thicker, and the light blue strands for her hairline is much thinner. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera. So you see how thin that is. This is about 3 or 4 times the amount of hair. This is just the amount of hair in one plug. And I would like to show you how I reroot once again. So I take the hard side. I take the sorry, off camera. So I take the glue side and I will slide it into the groove of the tagging gun. This gun is used for tagging clothing, even tagging the dolls onto the back of the box. So hopefully this video helps you if you were looking for an easier way to reroot, and this way I've only lost that much of length of hair because it's going in. I don't have to fold the hair in half and push it in and then lose half the length of the hair, so I prefer to do it this way. Yep, so we're gonna start some rerooting first, and then I can separate more hair later. What I'm gonna do now is just push all this dark blue hair away. Gonna do the part line last, and then I will take the light blue strands and I'm going to root them into Skylar's hairline. I have to be very, very careful now because you see on a doll's hairline, the holes are so close together. So sometimes you root alternate holes and then somehow it will cover up everything. Somehow. So what I'm doing is I take I hope you can see this. I take this blue side of the hair and I push it into the groove of the tagging gun backwards. Yep. And now that I have widened the hole here, I will just push the tagging gun in and cut the hair in. Yep, it's in. Don't worry. Of course you will worry that you can pull out the hair, but after a while this hole will shrink back and it will be tight again. And I will always use some glue to replace to glue the hair in place, just to be secure because it's a lot of work. So I'm gonna go back into that same hole because that hole was 2 holes of hair merged together, so I think it just deserves a little bit more hair here. And yep, and then what I'm gonna do now is I will skip 1 hole, okay, because I'm very scared if I do, gotta come closer, if I do this hole, I am very afraid that it will just crack the vinyl and these holes will merge. So I'm just gonna do this hole first. Okay, I've skipped 1 hole. And then again slide it in, and yep, oops, this time it didn't go in. caught on her own hair. Okay, one thing at a time. Push it into the groove again. And then push it into the expanded hole. And there it is in. Then I've got 2 holes done. I'm going to again skip this hole and go to the next hole. Now don't worry, at the end you will be able to see which holes kind of fused together. It's better to have 2 holes, fused together than to have the whole scalp crack, and then you can always use epoxy to glue it back, but that's just not the most pleasant thing. So this is a very quick process. If you are doing this, it will not take very long. I mean, yeah, the hair preparation is a process, but even if I bought hair, I guess I will still have to prepare it the same way. Yeah, and because I use the needle to widen the hole, I'm not forcing hair in, so I don't have to be so afraid that anything will happen to her hair. So I'm just going to do a few more plugs, and then I will do the rest on a time lapse, and then separate more hair, and then finish her up on time lapse for you to see. There are other videos of me doing part lines of a doll. Again, this is a fail. Sometimes the hair just slips out of the groove, but with the thicker strands for the part line, it doesn't slip out of the groove so fast. So yeah, and yes. You can see now that I skipped some holes, some of them do merge together, whereas some of them don't, but there will be enough hair. I would rather not do it so close together. This is how I get around having a scalp split. I just root every alternate hole, let the vinyl break a little bit for every alternate hole, and it's fine. Yeah, it will not look ugly. It will still look like a nice part line. And I see Skylar's already starting to look like, what do you call that, Gabriella, with all that light blue hair. Just with a tan skin tone. I really like her skin tone, very nice and pretty. So, yep, I will do the rest on time lapse, and I hope you enjoy. So there are some holes down here. I know I said to reboot every alternate hole, but there are some holes that, it did not merge. If you can see, I cannot have one hole just, one plug missing, and you see down here the holes did not merge at all. So what I do is I will widen it, but I will widen it ever so gently, just a little bit. Okay, and then I will load the tagging gun again. Okay, but this time you've got to be a little bit more careful when filling up the gaps in between. Got to be very, very careful, just like this. Just don't push the needle all the way in, just a little bit of the needle. And then, now that it's widened slightly, I push the tagging gun just a bit, just a little bit, and I already pulled the trigger, and it just delivers the hair in. So this way it doesn't, it doesn't hurt the scalp. It doesn't make the holes join or fuse together. And can you imagine this whole thing cracking? It will be crazy. But yeah, so I just discovered this right now. So again, another hole here missing. I'm just going to widen ever so slightly. Going to load the tagging gun with some hair. And then I will push it into this hole, but just a little bit. No force at all. And then pull the trigger and let the hair go in. Okay, one did go in, one did not go in, but that's because I was using 2 strands of hair, 2 plugs of hair. So that's how we get around that. Yeah. So it is possible to root every hole. I didn't realize. I just always let 2 holes fuse together and then I let it joins, which is not the healthiest way to view it, but now at least I know, don't push the tagging gun all the way in. And you see I got such a neat hairline down here. Everything is covered. Let me just do this one more time. Just very happy that I discovered this method right now doing the video. So again, I will see there is a little hole here. So this is rooted in, this is rooted in. There is one hole that is not rooted in. I just widen it a little bit. Just put a little bit of this in, and then load the tagging gun so the needle should not go all the way in. It's just that bit. Again, I'm going to push it in just ever so slightly and hold it. Oh god, the hair slipped out. Slip it into the groove again and push it in a little bit. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to put my thumb over this open part of the needle so the hair doesn't slide out. And yep, there it goes in. Very easy and nice, and yep, it's done. Ooh, it's filled up. I'm so glad. I will still do it alternately, and then I will do the ones in between. Sorry, off camera again. I will still do like alternate holes, and then if they don't merge, I'll do the ones in between. And oh, really kind of surprised how Skylar turned out in light blue hair. I think you can already imagine just with this. Very pretty. So I have finished separating all the light blue strands, and they are like really teeny weeny small ones. Yeah, and I'm going to root them all into her whole head. I think she looks really gorgeous with light blue hair, and then of course I will use the dark blue ones here to make her heartline. And yeah, I don't know why I keep repeating myself. So you know what, with what I said earlier on, that I kind of discovered how I can root without splitting the part line, I think I'm going to do that for every single hole. I'm just not going to expand the hole too much. Neither am I going to push the tagging gun in all the way. I will just do it ever so slightly for every single hole, but I'm still gonna do them alternate because I don't want to split the scalp still. So I do them alternate, and then anything that does not split, I will, how should I say, anything that does not split, I will do the middle hole. So you see, look at this, if you can see this, like wee, everything is nice, and then there is this one gap. Oh, sorry, off camera. And then there is this one gap. I cannot live with that, so I just widen it very slightly. I'm gonna do this for every single hole. I'm not going to, even the ones that I do alternately, I'm not gonna push it all the way in. I think I can be a little bit more gentle on my reroot process. So just push it in slightly, cover the groove so it doesn't come out, and then the hair does not go in. Let me try again. Sometimes it's a fail, so I have to cover the groove so the hair doesn't slip out. Yeah, it should work. Okay, cover the groove, push it in a little bit, and yep, okay, there it is. Okay, let me go into the camera if you can see it. Yep, and there, that hole is filled up. So I'm gonna do this whole thing on time lapse and won't bore you with my talking. So I have done most of her hairline with all the blue from her part line. She's really cute. I like her very much, but whoops, I don't have enough hair here, so I guess when I take that blue, because I think the blue is more than enough for a part line, so I guess I will just have to root back some dark blue in, which is like total waste of my time. Cut it out and put it back. But how would I have known that it wasn't enough? Maybe my blue strands were too thick. Not sure, but yeah, I wouldn't have known. So, oh well. I will root her part line first, and then I will give her back some hair here from the dark blue hair. So now that all the blue hair around her face is done, and she has like a very Gabriella icy kind of look with her hair, I'm going to still the missing hair here. I'm going to do up her part line here. I have many videos where I do their part line, but I'm just gonna show you a little bit of how it works. So basically I took a watercolor pencil and I drew a line kind of off center. Kind of wish I started on this side, but anyway, it's about the same. And what I'm gonna do now is I will just poke a hole. Now, so you see, this is the first line, and this is the first hole, and this is the second hole, and the third hole I'm really gonna leave quite a gap. You can see like quite a huge gap, because I'm just gonna stuff in a lot of hair and split them down the middle, and it will be enough to cover up her hair. I just don't want those holes to be so close. So this is why the strands are a little bit thicker. And again, I will load the tagging gun, and that way these are much more secure. Hair all over the place. These are much more secure, so it won't really slip out. Now that I have widened the hole here, I just push that hair in, and it's done. And then I take another thick strand, slip it in again, okay, and then again I will widen the hole. I do this so that the gun will not cause trauma to her scalp and make it split. So just gently widening it, and then okay, there. So I divide them both ways, and if that's not enough, I will take another chunk of hair. It's always easier to do this on straightened out hair. I was a little bit lazy, and I'm paying for it now. It's very messy. And then put this in and split this down the middle. Yep, I've got an equal amount of hair on both sides now, so that's a very tight part line I've got now. I think it still can afford just a bit more hair. Just a little bit more. All of these into the same third hole. And again, split it down the middle. Just from anywhere. Yep. There it is. I mean, she doesn't look that different because the color scheme is still the same. It's just that the light hair is all around her face now, and the dark hair is like on top, which is I think it's a bit more realistic, because like we would prefer to have darker roots than to have light roots on top and then dark hair below. I mean, that is a style as well, but oh well, I'm gonna do this on time lapse, and I hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to see the end result. Oh, I can't believe I didn't video a large chunk of the part line reboot. I didn't even press play. But yeah, anyway, I have many videos on how I make a part line, a tight part line, and yeah, I've done the first few for you, so I think it will be quite easy to see how I do the rest of it. And this is really tight, very, very tight, no gaps at all, so I'm very happy. Right now, just a complete waste of time. I should never have cut this all, but who knows. I've got to take these extra strands and split them and root them back into the back. It's very like a big waste of time. But what do? I have no more light blue hair. So I guess this is my only option. And take the thick strands and split them into smaller strands and just root everything back into the back. I mean, it's not going to be different than, you know, I was hoping to have light blue hair all around, but it's not gonna happen now. So again, I'll put this on time lapse so you don't have to watch every single detail. And by then I'll be done. I boil wash her, put some glue into her head, and I'm done. And this is just not going in. So yeah. And I am done. I've filled up everything. This process took me about, how long did I take? 8, 10, 11, 3 hours. Yeah, preparation of the hair. The rerouting part was really the fastest part, and ooh, some of her hair is shedding now that I comb it. But I like it, it's very soft. I guess this is just a one-of-a-kind doll that I get to say I have. You know, I've always thought that she should be a little bit like this, a little bit more like this, and yeah, I know the color scheme isn't very different from the original, you know, because it's all her hair anyway, but all I need to do is boil wash her now and put some glue in her head, and she will be all ready. And you know, maybe change her eye color just a little bit. Yeah, just give her somebody else's eyes, just to give her a completely new look. So I'll see you once I'm done with all the gluing and boil washing, and thank you for staying through the creative process. I don't know if this is even called creative, it's just like a little fantasy. I've always wanted to see Skylar like this. So yep, I'll boil wash her and I'll be back. Hooray, here is Skylar completely finished, and here is her final look. I really like her because she has right now darker roots and sort of like, you know, lighter hair. I don't know how to do an ombre effect, or I don't actually want to dye my doll's hair. I guess the dye would work, but yeah, this is another way. And you can see even from the back of her hair, the hair goes from darker to lighter, so it kind of makes a little bit more sense to me. It's not a matter of like which is nicer or anything, it's just which one I prefer or which one you prefer. I like them both ways. And oh yes, she has Crystal's eyes. Yeah, Crystal's eyes. And what I've done is I brought, let me stand her up. Whoops. I brought the other Skylar out to compare. So this is original Skylar. I don't know why her cheeks are so red. But this was when she first came out and I got her, and she, yeah, I mean, I love her hair in this kind of curl actually. This is just hair. Yeah, but she looks so upset. Yeah, and down here you will be able to see both of their hair completely different, even though they are the same color combination. So yeah, okay. Obviously, this Skylar is a little bit more simply dressed. I just threw on something for her and brought her out. And this Skylar is a little bit more styled. So, oh yes, and the shoes. These are exactly the same shoes. It's just that this is frosted and painted. This is from Taobao. I guess it was kind of shoes before it was even painted, so I'm not sure if you remove the paint would you get this effect, because it looks slightly frosted. This is like really jelly, like transparent. Yeah, so anyway, let me know in the comments which Skylar you prefer. Do you like the new, the swapped out hair? Or do you like okay, she really looks very angry. It's a little bit of an unfair pose for her, but I don't know why she looks so angry. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Yeah, it's strange if this dark blue string is too much in front. Yeah, let me know in the comments which type of hair you prefer on Skylar. And I do like the original still. I'm looking at her now and I really like her. It's just a completely different feel, I think. So yeah, thank you for watching. Just please like and subscribe and share this with your friends if you like it. And I hope you are enjoying my video so far. Thank you.